It's day 16. Now it is over halfway.
No, it is halfway. This is halfway. We're not over halfway. We are halfway. When we hit the halfway point of this recording, we will be precisely halfway. And then we'll be over halfway.
Okay. Now that we have that clarified. Anyway, welcome to day 16. So I want to talk about food. So one of their commenters in the last day or few days, when we were last talking about the gluttony of holiday feasting, she said that one of their traditions is to make buffalo wings.
And I am so on board with that. Like, I think that's a new family tradition for us, honestly.
So
I think that's brilliant.
I had to go on a little Google journey.
Yeah?
Yeah, well, yeah, because I'm like, all right, what is a buffalo wing? Because obviously buffaloes don't have wings. We don't even have buffalo in North America. We don't. They're bison.
No, it's just Buffalo, New York.
But I didn't know that. I didn't know that. I live in a state that's all about the buffalo, which are really bison. There's no buffalo, but we have bison on our state flag. So I thought I should know what this is. I didn't know that it came from Buffalo, New York, but now that makes more sense. Then I thought,
and if you ever go to the falls, the waterfalls, Niagara Falls, there's like a handful of restaurants there in the town that make a big deal about how the fact that they have buffalo wings.
Yeah, oh yeah.
There's
even like a chain. There's a buffalo wing
Buffalo Wild Wings, yeah. They're delish.
There's one of those. I've never been there, but there's one of those in Cheyenne.
Oh, they're good. You can pick, like, do you want bone in? Do you want bone out? Do you want dry rub? Do you want a wet sauce? Like and then there's like 12 different variations for all of those things. It's great.
So if it's
I enjoy them.
If it's a boneless chicken wing, basically that's a chicken nugget.
It's a nugget. It's a nugget. Yeah.
It's not even a chicken.
But it's not like a McDonald's one where it's like ground up chicken they've reformed. It's like a chicken tender that they've cut into a chunk. And then it's breaded. That's the thing with the boneless ones, those are breaded before they're sauced. Whereas a bone-in wing, they don't do the breading cover on it. It's either a dry rub or a wet sauce that it's mixed in.
And let's be clear. Here's another thing I had to look up. Because not knowing about these things, I mean, I have butchered many a chicken in my day, and I'm like, the actual wing part is not worthy of all this effort. It's actually the shoulder. It's called the drumette. It's the shoulder. It's not the actual wing part. It's the
shoulder. Yeah, they do two parts of it. So you get the drumette, and then you get this part, and then you get this part. But then there's also like the little pointy part, and that pointy part they don't do. So it's the part that corresponds to your forearm and your upper arm. That's what they sell. The little pointy part that corresponds to your hand, that part does not.
Yeah,
that's not involved with their business.
Yeah, because there's not enough meat on that to even make it worth the effort.
No, not at all. Nope.
So I had to investigate this because it seems like a lot of work for a chicken nugget.
But man, it's more about the sauce or seasoning that you're eating it with.
Yeah, that I can understand.
And then the sauce or seasoning that you're dipping it in as well as you're eating it. So yeah, my favorite, like they offer all kinds of different dipping sauces. It's, like the different salad dressings basically, but I get just sour cream. And I just do it in sour cream, and that's my favorite. So.
Well, we had a conversation recently about how I discovered that you could mix 1 part sour cream to 1 part mayonnaise, not Miracle Whip, proper mayonnaise, and then a truckload of garlic powder. Stir that up. Fantastic on fries or chicken or whatever.
Yeah, it's good stuff. About to lose yarn chicken. Speaking of chicken and yarn. I'm going to be so close to finishing this row.
Uh-oh.
And the end of it is going right through my hand right now, and I still have 5 stitches left.
You can do it.
I might be able to.
Tie on the next thing first.
Well, it's the end of a row. I'm going to make it. I'm going to have to just very carefully weave this in later.
Okay,
Look at that. That's it.
You made it. Is that
This is my mat that I'm doing for the top of the washer. So that's the end of my first one. The other one I have is a lighter color. So that'll be the middle diagonal. And then I'll go back to this color for the last one. So that should be big enough. Once I have this middle part done, that'll be big enough to go on top of the
for your Tide box.
So, for my Tide box.
Okay, now are you gonna tie that on or just start it?
I'm gonna have to tie it on because it's so close that could very well work itself out. So I'll go ahead and tie this on, but I'll come back later and untie it and weave it in.
Yeah.
When I'm done.
The buffalo wing thing, I mean, I think that could be a cool Christmas Eve deal or Christmas Day.
I love the idea of it for Christmas Day because that's something where if you do a whole mass of them,
and you can
people can just
ahead of
time those all day and you can just relax.
Put out all the sauce.
Go microwave 5 more and have some lunch or have 10 more for dinner, whatever.
And I've been digging making my own oven fries lately. You know, you just cut up your potato and on a cookie sheet with a little olive oil and some garlic salt, bake it for a half hour at 425. It's awesome.
How do you get them crispy though? I've never been able to get them crispy in the oven.
Really?
Yeah. They're always kind of mushy.
Oh, no. Well, I mean, you just want the edges to be crispy or what are you wanting?
I want them to be crispy. I mean, you have to fry them to get that like fast food crispy fry. It has to be some sort of oil. Like you can do them in the air fryer if you coat them in oil first, put them in an air fryer. That'll get you the same effect. But otherwise, I just think of it as a baked potato in another form. Like that's the difference in texture when I've done fries in the oven.
I guess I'm okay with floppy fries.
Yeah.
You're not.
Anyway.
Okay. Well, should I show you my whip?
Yeah, I showed you mine. You show me yours.
Okay, I'll show you one of them. I have to move my coffee.
Okay.
I got to move my coffee. Okay, so remember we were talking earlier about this, well, not earlier, but several days ago. I mentioned the Solstice Engrain shawl. It is basically just back and forth garter stitch. It's a big schlanket, and I have all my minis, and you can see some hanging up over there.
Yep.
I should have waited till I was at the end of a round, but that's all right. So a lot of it, a lot of it in the beginning is just boring garter stitch, blah, blah. But now we're starting to see some color. So
nice.
Yeah. I like it. I like it. So that's
nice.
Comfort. It's just comfort knitting back and forth.
Yeah. How much longer until you start getting smaller again?
Oh, a long time. A really long time.
A while still.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's see. There's 12 minis on each side, big, and then.
Oh, okay.
So I'm only on, let's see, 12, 11, 10. I'm only on the 7th mini.
Wow. Okay. So that's basically like 2.5 hanks then for each half. That's a good size shawl.
Yeah. But this is, I'm in the middle of a round, but this is, obviously the colors are going to get more narrow now as the thing gets wider. So, so we're getting wider.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
nice.
So and then maybe next time I'll show you the progress I've made on the girlfriend's cardigan. That's garter stitch as well, but it's squishy and
okay.
But I'll save that.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah.
Yep. That can be future. Did we talk about body doubling on the podcast or did we talk about, okay, so we did. So I had this moment of body doubling today. That was really, really good for me. It got me started on preparing for the Yarn Stash Restash actually, which is good, and that's coming up. So I mentioned before about my corner in my room, my office, where it's a bit of a thing. So people know I'm in and out of the country a lot, and a lot of times when I come home, it's like everything's just going to go there, and I will sort it out later.
So that's kind of your drop zone?
Because I have to hit the ground running when I get home. And so usually what happens, some of it gets sorted out, but there's a layer that remains, and then another pile happens and some of that gets sorted out. And so it's a nice sedimentary experience. And today
that's funny.
I was telling you, like we do have some housekeepers that come and take care of the big clean for us. Yeah. And we just keep things tidy the rest of the time. But when they come and do the big clean, it functions as body doubling for me. So that's while they're here, I tidy as well.
Okay.
So, and like they won't move things, you know, so I'm sure it's like a liability thing. If it breaks, they don't want to be responsible for it. So you have to have a tidy home, and they come in and do the big clean. But there's also like those areas like that drop zone where I'm like, okay, I'm going to put this away, or I'm going to grab a big bag and go through and take stuff to Goodwill kind of thing, you know? So while they were here this last time, I was working on that drop zone, and it was good. It was like getting me in the mood for the Yarn Stash Restash stuff. Yeah. And yeah, I had a whole, what's it called? Laundry basket?
Hamper. Yeah.
That had been functioning as like, you know, that's where the layers were being built, and that is emptied out now, and stuff is properly put away.
Well done.
The laundry basket's back down in the basement.
For laundry.
But yeah, for actual laundry instead of for yarn storage. Who would have thought? So anyway, I am pumped about the Yarn Stash Restash now because of that. And I just wanted you were saying someone was asking you about it. They're new.
Yeah, so I wanted you to kind of explain that a little more about what's coming up so that people have a preview. And then because I did have a couple people at Knit Night this week specifically ask me about it, and I'm like, I don't feel qualified to talk about this. We need to ask Anne to talk about this. I'm not qualified to talk about this because I have a lot still.
Yeah. So, and I still have a laundry hamper over there too that I use for this purpose, for the purpose of storing. It stores projects that I want to knit. So it's all like the yarn, the pattern, everything is in a bag, and it's in that hamper. So it's like, but that brings something up, you know, like intentionality. So really the yarn, I started this and was calling it the Yarn Stash D-Stash. Right. But the purpose of it is not to make people feel guilty about their stash or like they have to get rid of anything.
Right.
And so I renamed it after running it twice. I renamed it to the Yarn Stash Restash because the purpose really of it is to get your eyes on everything, make sure everything's still in good shape, make sure you still love everything and it's still making you happy, and then get it stored properly again. And
in your cotton bags.
We talk about that. We talk about different yarn storage for different yarns and things like that. So yeah, as we go through it, there's education about how to store your things back properly, how to check to make sure everything's still good shape, how to, you know, assess how you feel about your stash and get it back to how you want it to be. And then the rest of the year, you have had that refresher. And so you can know, oh, I have this. I've been meaning to knit with that, whatever, and you can go pull from it better.
That's so helpful because if you've been collecting yarn for a long time, like I've got 20 some odd years worth of stuff, I'm quite sure that I am not capable of remembering every single thing I have in my stash.
Right. Exactly.
So that's very helpful. And also, can we be clear? This isn't a podcast, you and I. You're going to be running this over on Instagram. Is that correct?
Yeah, you need to follow. So I put the posts up on Instagram. They're formatted for Instagram, but they will auto post to the I Thought I Knew How group on Facebook as well.
Okay.
So if you're not on Instagram, but you're on Facebook, you can join the I Thought I Knew How group there. You'll get the post there. So what happens is every day I post a prompt. And it can be everything from like, spoiler alert, day one is just to get everything together in one area of your house. So get it from your side chair where you sit and knit at night, get it from your bedside table, get it from the basement, get it wherever, and just get it all in one place. That's step one. And
Oh,
then, yep. For some people, it's really easy. For some of us, it's a little harder. I would say normally, uh, I think that in the past, it would be more challenging for me to go around and get everything together. At this point, everything pretty much stays in my office, so that's not a challenging spot for me. The problem is, though, I have so much that as I'm going through things, I need more space because I have to use my office.
right.
So I have my dining room's right next door, so that
Okay.
becomes like my staging ground while
Okay.
this is going on.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but everything's here in this room. I go through the house and make sure there's not the odd knitting needle here or tapestry needle there or whatever. But anyway.
Yeah.
And then it's sometimes people get frustrated because it is pretty much a week before we actually start addressing the yarn. Because we do your knitting tools, we do your knitting books. It is your full knit
Experience.
craft, crochet craft life that we deal with. And we take 2 weeks to do it. And
Wow.
I encourage people to post using YS Restash as the hashtag.
Okay.
And I sort of keep track of who's using that and just, not note it down. And I have a handful of small prizes that I send out to people who have seen the whole thing through. So this year, that was one of the things I was doing today actually was I put together the 4 prizes. So I have 4 prizes that I'm doing this year. They're
Nice.
not big dramatic prizes.
No, but
They're
it's
just
cool that
little
you're
good
doing it
job.
at all. Yeah.
Yeah, good job you. Here's a little
Yeah.
fun recognition thing that you can have for your stash. So it's something we all go through it together. We can comment on each other's posts. We can cheer each other on, you know,
And that's really
and
the
it's just
prize, if you will, is just getting through the process and getting it done. I mean, that's really
absolutely,
beneficial. Yeah. And a little scary.
absolutely. Yeah. So as I said, it takes 2 weeks,
Yeah.
little bits every day.
Okay.
And we start the day after Christmas.
Okay.
And I know for some families, they're still like going around to see in-laws and stuff in the days after Christmas, and that's fine. You'll be able to catch up on the first few days pretty easy.
Okay.
So if you have to start a day or two late, that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because, like you said, we don't get into the yarn until a little bit later on in the process.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So there you go.
Nice.
So that's coming up.
December 26th. So
December.
go follow Anne on Instagram and Facebook right now so you'll know.
Yeah. I thought I knew how, all one word on Instagram, and just I thought I knew how podcast. Nope. I
Yep.
thought I knew. Just search groups for I thought I knew how, and you'll find the group
Not your page.
book. I mean, you can follow. Actually, the page is where things get reposted, right? If I post something on Instagram, it shows up on the page. So make sure you're following the I thought I knew how page if
Right.
you're on Facebook.
So cool.
But yeah, so that's
That's
coming
a
up.
good way to start the new year with good intentions and organization.
Fresh eyes.
Mm,
Yeah,
cool.
good
All right.
times. Okay, is it my turn to go first with our beautiful yarn from our
Sure.
okay, I just finished a row, so that worked out
That's handy because
perfectly.
I am not. I'm in the middle.
Good, because I had a little my heart sort of went, "Oh, no," because I thought I knit across instead of purling, but my fingers knew what they were doing, so alright, I don't know if you'll be able to see
Oh, okay. 16.
can
Well,
you tell what those
no.
they're little spears.
Oh, yeah, now I see the lines. Okay, I
Everybody
couldn't
can
see
see.
the lines at
So
first.
can you tell
Okay.
it's an X for 10 and then 6,
Yeah.
1, like 6 singles, so 16.
Yeah. Nice.
Okay.
That's cool. Creative.
Proud. Oh, wow. Okay. The label got a little mashed. Let me find the color name. So this one is called Autumn Berry, and this is from Silly Sheep Company, Autumn Berry. Oh,
Ooh.
there's sunlight coming in my window. See if I can channel
Wow.
that for good. Can you see that? That is the color where the
That is
sun's hitting it.
lovely. That is lovely. That's amazing.
And I get more sun on it. It only wants to be a little strip. I only got a little strip of sun coming in. Ooh. A beautiful, beautiful berry red shade. That is lovely. Okay, let me grab all of them here.
Yes, we see how everything goes together.
So there they are. Get the
Wow,
sunlight
that's
on.
amazing.
There we go.
Yay. Cool.
All right.
Okay,
So
so you're interested in the
yesterday's stripe.
is kind of golden, really. Yeah. So it's
Ooh.
almost like a caramel. So I'd say this is like
Yeah,
toffee.
that's what
Yeah, this is like
I was gonna
toffee.
say. It
This is
looks
like
caramely.
caramel. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this was 12,
Nice.
13, 14, 15. Okay, you
Yep.
ready for 16?
Day
Here's
16's color. Yeah.
okay, there's the neutral.
Neutral, neutral. What
Oh,
if one day she picked neutral as the color and you just kept pulling and pulling and pulling because you thought it was neutral? Oh, are we back to purple again?
no, it seems like a light tan, like a light caramel. Like maybe a
Oh,
latte
okay.
color.
Okay.
Oh,
It looks kind of purpley on my screen. That's
well,
interesting.
no,
That'll be interesting. I'm sure it is. I'm sure you're seeing it better than I am.
looks
So
like a
it'll be interesting
latte.
to see it
Yeah.
knit up.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah. Nice.
And
Very nice.
I measured because, I mean, a lot of people have already started their heels, so that's good, but I'm not quite there.
You small footed people.
I'm not quite there. I'm going to have another stripe or two, I think, before I can start my heel flap. So
Okay.
I did measure
Nice.
lest you should be concerned about, but does not look neat
Oh,
overall.
I love it. That looks so pretty.
Yeah.
That's so
Well done,
nice.
Michelle.
Well done, Michelle. Good job, Woolens and Nosh.
Yay. Okay. Whew. Okay, we're getting down there as far as like shopping time, shipping things.
Yeah.
Please, people, do not start stressing and think you're going to knit something and cause yourself a bunch of worry and stress.
Oh, did I tell you I was going to knit something?
No. Is it going to be a like pencil top or tiny sweater that takes an hour and a half?
No,
And
yeah. Okay, so I did knit something for one of my children, and
well,
I could just give it to her. I could just give it to her.
you showed us the
But
big
it's Christmas time.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's Christmas time, so I'm like, I'm putting it in a box and she can open it at Christmas.
Okay. Okay.
And then I was like, it's not a big deal. Like, I've knit stuff for my other kid before. It's not a big deal. And then the mommy guilt kicked in. I was like,
You
but
got to
you
knit
really have time. You have time. You could knit like a hat or a cowl or something.
for
And
other.
so for my other child. So I reached out to this other child and I said, would you like me to knit something? If so, do you want it to be nerdy or do you want it to just be like normal fashion? And they sent back a fantastic idea for something. And I was like, in order for that to work, I would have to knit it in lace weight yarn for the amount of detail that would require. So that's not going to happen.
Lace weight? Wait, are you going to tell
Yeah,
me
because
what that is or what that?
no, because it might be something I design later. And
Oh, okay.
so
So
I was like, let's look on Ravelry. And so we found, because my oldest is really into Dungeons and Dragons, and
yeah,
they like host a library
yeah,
group and everything
yeah.
and then they're part
D&D
of
night.
several groups.
Yeah.
And so there's one I found a cowl I think I'm gonna make for them that is green fire, which I guess is something from Dungeons and Dragons. It's green at the bottom and it's like flames, and it's outlined, the flames are outlined in black, and then it's like a neutral color on the top. And I saw it and I was like, that actually looks really cool. That's like nerd and fashion. And so, ticks
Ooh,
both boxes. And it's worsted weight, and it's really, there's only like 7 rows of color work. The rest of it's just stockinette or ribbing top and bottom. So
okay.
child, I hope you're not watching this. I just realized that as I said this. I don't think they watch, so it's okay. But anyway, we've been discussing it anyway. So the real
So
gift will be
yeah.
getting it done on Christmas.
Are
by
you
Christmas.
casting on?
Yeah, I'm looking at the yarn right now and
Oh,
saying,
you
yes,
do
I
have
have it.
okay, I was just gonna say, do you have appropriate stash yarn?
Yeah, so I have appropriate stash yarn.
Okay.
I was surprised. I did a search for Dungeons and Dragons and for D&D on Ravelry,
Yeah.
and there were only like 30 projects in knitting. And so I'm sure the actual Dungeons and Dragons, I'm sure that people get in trouble for using that. That's probably a licensing thing.
Yeah.
But I would have thought it still would have turned more stuff up, you know?
It depends. I think
So I'm like,
when you search D&D, is it D space N space D or is it D
no, I do a
A?
DND all as one word, and I did Dungeons and Dragons
Yeah.
spelled out.
I don't
But
know.
now I'm like, someone needs to corner the market on knitting designs inspired by Dungeons and Dragons. I think there's a lot of overlap between knitters and D&D players.
Oh yeah. In the same way that people did that for all the Harry Potter knitting. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe Tanis is working on it already. I don't know.
Well, we'll look forward to seeing the cowl in progress if you're at liberty to share.
Yes.
Or at least
Yes. So, don't don't feel like you have to do what I am doing.
no.
Don't feel like that I know I have enough time with the pacing of my life coming up. I know I have enough time to do
Right.
this, so
Sure. I do
I'm
not.
going to be fine.
I do not. I have
Yeah.
yeah, I don't. I may or may not make a couple tiny sweaters for like gift, care package editions, and I might not. I mean, that's okay.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on
That's
right
fine.
now. So yeah,
That's fine.
it's fine.
And if you really want to knit something for someone, uh you can start and then put it in a gift bag, give it to them unfinished, and then take it back.
Yeah, but don't think you're gonna mail something to somebody at this late date.
Oh no. If mail's involved, you do not have time to knit something and mail it. Don't just settle. Just settle down.
It's okay.
It's
Just
okay.
just settle down. Settle down there. It'll be okay. Yeah, it'll be
Send them a picture on Christmas Day of this is what's coming your way.
love
It's
you.
fine.
Yeah.
Love you. This is coming to you. It's
Yeah.
fine. We live in a digital age. Take advantage of modern technology. It's fine.
Absolutely. Okay. Well, a little shorter episode today, but that's fine. Maybe not. We talked about wings. I don't know. That's a
I don't
thing.
know. We talked about a lot of stuff. I think we're okay.
I mean, maybe not every day is 45 minutes ranting about old lady complaining. So it's okay. It's okay.
I don't think I have any complaints at the moment.
I don't know that we
It's
did.
weird. Yeah.
I'm sure
Can
one will
we
pop up.
complain about not having complaints?
I'm sure that there'll be complaints popping up shortly. It'll be fine. Not to worry. There's always something.
There's always something.
All right. I'll see you tomorrow.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.